Yeah, I think we're ready.
Okay, Matt, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
All right, let's get this Mariano's meetup going. We're back with Thirsty Thursday with Matthew Jannotta, who today is going to be helping us make some Effen Vodka recipes. And we all collaborated on this because we really wanted the drinks to be very in time for summer and very exciting. And Matthew definitely nailed it with, in my mind, our versions of a modern cosmopolitan, which is one of my favorite drinks. I'm not sure about everyone else, but I did grow up, or I was, I guess, you know, a young adult when Sex and the City was going on. So it's always fun to, you know, a little bit of pop culture in these classes. But Matthew, I'll let you take it away with the drinks and telling us about Effen, which is liquid luxury to me. And one of my favorite all-time spirits is the Effen Black Cherry flavor, which we'll get to for our second cocktail.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you very much, Amanda, and thank you again for having me here for the third time now. I love these classes, and I'm really happy that all of you guys could join me again. Obviously, a lot of crazy things going on right now outside of this class. A lot of strife and you know, different things going on. But one thing I would like you guys to focus on with me, and one thing I'm going to focus on too, is really within this hour, we're going to enjoy ourselves. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to make some delicious cocktails with some delicious ingredients. We're going to learn a little bit about history. We're going to learn a little bit about the way drinks are made. And we're going to drink. We're going to ask questions, answer questions. We're going to have a great time. So without further ado, as I always do in my classes, I always like to start with a cocktail and then talk about the spirit and then the history of the cocktail after that. Amanda, are you down? Are you feeling it? All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so the first one we're going to do right now is going to be called the Cosmolini. Now, I came up with this name basically because I combined the Cosmopolitan with the Bellini. Now, the traditional Cosmopolitan is going to be vodka, cranberry, lime juice, and triple sec, right? The cranberries where you get that pink flavor, or pink color, sorry. Triple sec's where you get a little bit of that sweetness, vodka, alcohol, the lime, the acid, etc. Now, a Bellini is usually Prosecco and a peach puree or a peach ingredient of some kind. If you don't have the puree, you can do peach nectar, you can do peach jam, you can even do peach schnapps. It totally depends upon, you know, as long as it's peach, we're ready to go. Now, basically what I did with this drink is combine the two. So when I think summer, I think refreshing, I think like a flute glass, I think something that I can kind of hold in my hand with my pinky up by the pool, you know, in different times, of course, and you know, really enjoy myself. So I combined these two drinks, and that's where the inspiration came from. So let's get started. Now we'll take our shakers. Take the bottom part of the shaker, or if you have a Boston shaker with the top, just take the big part. And as usual, as we talked about in previous classes, we're going to take our jigger here and we're going to add the cheapest ingredients first. And now the reason why we do that, as we talked about before, is that, you know, in the bartending world, or even in your own home bars these days, the most expensive ingredients you don't want to waste, right? So if you make a mistake, if you add a little bit too much of something, or you have the wrong ingredient, you don't have to throw the liquor out, right? You can throw the cheapest ingredients out first. So without further ado, we're going to do 1 1/2 ounce of lime juice in this one. So grab the jigger, put it right in there. Then what we're going to do right here is a splash of cranberry. Now a splash can be just a splash out of the bottle or whatever. I like to measure it out as a 1/4 ounce, but a splash is a splash. You can do it as you see fit.
Matthew, I got a new jigger and it measures down to the 1/8 ounce, 1/8 ounce.
Well, an 1/8 ounce is like a really tight splash. So you can even do that too. It completely works. And then from there, we're going to add 1 ounce of the triple sec. And we'll talk about what triple sec is in a minute. And then we're also going to add a 1/2 ounce of the peach puree. Now, you can't, depending upon how thick the puree is, depending upon if it's schnapps or nectar or jam or whatever, you might not be able to put it in the jigger just like that. So if you take like a teaspoon, that should be fine. put that in there. And then the most important part, Effen Vodka. We'll talk about Effen in a minute, but we're going to do 1.5 ounces. There we go. And from there, what we do, grab the larger shaker and add our ice. And why do we add the ice last? Because we don't want to over dilute the cocktail. We want to dilute the cocktail while it's shaking. All right, so we add our ice. Seal it up. And when you shake that cocktail, give it a real shake. Give it your emotions in it. Give it some love. Let's hear it shake. All right. Don't want to over dilute it. Yeah, really get it in there. Totally. And sometimes you might have some trouble. All right, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, we know you can do it.
Yeah, no, I can do it for sure. And without further ado, we're back. So, now with this particular cocktail, I'm going to take a flute. You don't have to have a flute. You can have a martini glass. You could have a skinny wine glass, etc. Doesn't really matter. Flute is the traditional way to go. But doesn't really matter as long as it kind of like tulips up and puckers at the top. So we're going to drain it in there. It's got that really nice kind of pink color to it. All right, we'll take it. And the next thing we're going to add, in my opinion, is the best part, Prosecco. Now, it's an old adage in the restaurant industry that it should sound like a very quiet toot, if you will. It should never pop when you're opening the bottle. Just like that. All right. So we're going to top the glass with that.
Mine looks a little pinker than yours. But I think it's my peach juice was nectar.
Yeah, so the color is going to differ given the peach ingredient that you use, pretty much. And also if you added a little bit more cranberry. Exactly. There we go. Now what you can do here, any citrus ingredient will work. I have a lime wheel just because I like lime wheels. But you can do lemon. You could do lemon spritz just with the skin, etc. And as we always do when we finish the cocktail, we ring the bell. Woo! And enjoy.
Cheers, everybody. Oh my God, there's so many good looking cocktails. We got to get everybody going here. Hold on before we start. This is so exciting. Let's go to Carol first because I see her. So Carol, unmute.
Unmute.
Hi there.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, that looks delicious, you guys. Oh my God, I love it. And we see Laura right behind you with hers. Those look great. Guys,
oh, it tastes so good.
It looks delicious. I haven't tried mine, but Chi-Town girl, we're gonna come to you now, Tony. Oh, Tony, your go-to brunch cocktail.
That's a good looking one.
I think you're still muted. You're spotlighted, but muted.
It's delicious.
It looks delicious.
Yeah, I love peach bellinis for brunch, so this is perfect. Right up my alley. And the color is gorgeous.
It's beautiful. The color is so pretty. It's like a light golden pink. Do you make your own peach puree like Matthew was suggesting, or do you just, what do you use for yours?
I did. I don't know if you saw me struggling with my, trying to open it. I don't know what I did with it. But I
struggled too. It's okay.
I was struggling trying to open my, my bullet. It just, the suction was just holding it in. So I was falling behind.
Oh, I didn't notice. You always look so awesome. So I didn't know that I was putting it together. But yeah, I think it's a great idea, Matt. I'm going to make my own puree because I think that's the way to really take this drink over the top.
What do I do with it?
Yeah. And
here it is.
It is such a refreshing brunch cocktail. Agreed.
Oh, yep, there it is. Look at that. It looks great.
Oh yeah.
All right, I love it. I think that covers everyone who's made them today. But this is a great. It's a way to upgrade your like brunch cocktail. I think this is awesome, Matthew.
Good. Thank you. And like I said, it's the Cosmo.
Dad,
You can start recommending it at restaurants now.
I love it. All right, so tell us all about Effen, because I believe it's a local brand, correct?
Well, yes and no, and I'm glad you brought that up. So it's made in Holland with wheat from northern France. However, it was developed here in Chicago. So you're absolutely correct. And it was developed here in Chicago, where this is the world headquarters of Beam Suntory. And it was developed with the input of bartenders locally. Now, if you pick up the bottle, you'll see that it has a very tactile, tight label, right? The bottle's also very skinny. That's because it was designed to be, when you're behind a bar and it's in the shell, in below, or the well, if you will, you can easily take it out if you're busy and pour it. And it's not going to slip, and you can fit your hand right around it, right? So it was developed with bartenders in order to kind of get it streamlined and get it into bars immediately. And it was also developed during the beginning of the mixology craze. Now mixology is kind of like a common term. We hear it time and time again. It's kind of almost like a catch-all phrase. In the early 2000s, late 90s, it was kind of just butter and kind of just coming into its own. And Effen was on the forefront of that. So once they developed it, they needed to make it in a great place. And Holland has one of the best distilleries in the world. They make, in this particular distillery, they make gin, they make vodka, and they also make Jennifer, which in particular, a couple other classes that we've had, I believe in the Hendrix class, they mention Jennifer and its history in Holland. However, in this particular distillery, Effen is made with wheat from northern France. The reason why they use wheat in northern France is because the particular starch in wheat is very, very smooth. And when it's distilled, if you think of like wheat bread, almost like, it's like kind of like a little bit sweet and really smooth. It's very, very similar when it's distilled. So they use 100% wheat for it, and they also run it in column stills. Now, what column stills basically are, if you can imagine a gigantic column with a bunch of filters in that column, and you run the spirit up through the filters and back down, it strips a lot of the impurities and a lot of what's called in the industry congeners from the liquid and makes it really, really smooth. Now, you wouldn't do that with whiskey necessarily because you want whiskey to be a little bit tougher, a little bit more flavor forward, a little bit more bold. But with vodka, that's a standard practice. So a lot of times you'll see in vodka labels twice distilled, 3 times distilled. There's a couple labels out there that are like 10 times distilled, etc. Basically, what that means is that it's stripping the impurities from the spirit and making it very, very smooth. And in this particular drink, you can tell because you can taste the alcohol, but it's not super, super apparent. It's not like offensive. It's very blendable. And that's where Effen really kind of shines through. And since the early 2000s, Effen has really taken a great hold on the market. It's become extremely popular in clubs as well. And it's done quite well. And I'm proud to make drinks with it today.
It's been a favorite of mine since that time because I think I told you I was doing public relations for different restaurants and whatnot. And we always were featured Effen. It had just come out and everyone loved the flavor, the Effen Black Cherry flavor too, so.
Sure, no, that's great to hear. And it's certainly carrying through. And in this particular drink as well is great because, we hear about the Cosmo all day long. We all know about Carrie Bradshaw. We all know about the popularization of Cosmos in the recent last 15, 20 years. But really, it's an older drink. It came to prominence in a little bit after World War II when triple sec was Cointreau in particular was being shipped from France over to the United States finally after the war. And bartenders started using it as a way to kind of curb the effects of the local spirits, which were a little bit more rough at the time. So we have the advantage of having a really, really smooth spirit here today, but that wasn't always the case. So in the early or late 40s, mid 40s to late 40s, and early 50s, a lot of the local spirits, a lot of even the national spirits were a lot rougher. They weren't distilled as many times. They weren't as smooth. So bartenders started to use different ingredients to kind of smooth things out, to kind of round things out and make things more palatable to the consumer. And one of those things was triple sec, which we discussed earlier, and De Kuyper in this case, which is delicious triple sec. And could be purchased at Mariano's, of course. And also lime juice, cranberry juice, and in this case, we combined it with the Bellini. So we made it quite delicious. But the whole idea from the beginning with the Cosmo was to really make something that really looked nice, that also tasted great with local spirits. So we're combining all those ideas.
I mean, the history is great. I did not know. I know that the history of the Cosmo is very cloudy to some people, but I like that it actually seems like it's now more of a classic cocktail.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, when I'm out with my friends, I'm not scared to order Cosmo. They're always delicious drinks. I'm not scared to order anything pink color. They're usually delicious. And
right.
One of the reasons is because Cosmo was one of the first pink drinks out there, period. And obviously the pink comes from the cranberry, but also that cranberry is balanced by the sweetness of the triple sec as well.
All right, we have some questions now going back. So Kim wants to know if she has a peach allergy, what's a good substitute?
Nectarine.
Okay.
Is that still?
Let's ask her. Kim, let us know about nectarines.
I'm not sure if nectarines also fall under that allergy, but also really, if you think about a peach, you think about the flavor, anything that really kind of has that subtle sweetness to it is going to work. So maybe like an apricot jam could work instead of a peach puree. It would taste just as good.
I mean, if it's a stone fruit allergy, she said that would work, so that's perfect. But if someone does have like a stone fruit allergy, could you use like like a strawberry or like a raspberry? I know it's not the same flavor, but it's like a fruit component.
Well, you definitely could use that because you're never going to go wrong with strawberries and raspberries. And, the strawberries are coming up next. But like if you add any type of berry to that drink, it's going to taste good. You can't really go wrong. And
right.
That's one of the reasons why I chose this one too.
And Tony says that she's been making hers from scratch. So I'm assuming you mean the Cosmos, or yeah. So I mean I think it's a fun classic. I'm calling it a classic cocktail now. But and these are great variations, Matt. So it's like fun to play around with, a good old favorite. Sue and Bob are asking something about your tree picture behind you.
Oh, okay. So this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one.
Tree picture.
So yeah, okay. So this one I picked up at a furniture liquidator in like Roosevelt and Cicero. No, Roosevelt and Harlem. And I'm not exactly sure what it is, but an artist made them for. They're all originals. Made them for a hotel chain, and they folded. So they ended up in this furniture liquidator, and they're like little bears. And then there's some cardinals in the tree too, which kind of complement the red and the yellow and the green kind of complement each other. I saw it and I was like, I'll take that for sure. And he was like, all right, fine, $20.
It's definitely new from last time, right? That's newer?
Yeah, this was here last time, but I kind of refocused the picture this time.
Oh, okay. Looks great.
Thanks. All right. Are we good on questions for now, or?
I think we're great. Tony also, she found some art in a recycle bin in San Diego. I think those kinds of that kind of art's like the best kind when you find it on sale or like in a recycling bin or at an antique store or something. really affordable. So
Yeah, it is the best kind. Obviously, also expensive art is really good too. But
you know,
but you know, let's talk about liquidated art. That's my style.
we like recycling, antique stores, and liquidation. Absolutely.
Yes, yeah, most certainly.
You can spend more money on making drinks. So
Yes, exactly. Spend more money on Effen and DeKuyper triple sec.
yeah.
Mariano's, most certainly. Cool. All right. So, do you think we should go into the next drink, or maybe talk a little bit about history or drink stuff?
This is your show, Matt.
Well, no, it's our show, Amanda. So let's do one more cheers before we go on to the next one, because I really like this drink.
I really love it too. I love the color. I love the flavor. Delicious. I can't wait to make my own puree though. That's really good.
Yeah, when you make it yourself, obviously it's always going to be really good.
Right.
Cool. All right. So the next one is probably my favorite, and it comes from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm sure we're all fans. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. If you have seen it, you know where the name comes from. This Cosberry tastes like Cosberries. You know, so like it comes from the schnozberry, but I combine berries into a Cosmo. And the berries in this case are going to be strawberries. And this particular cocktail is going to be fun because we get to muddle. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've muddled yet in any of our classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be good. And who doesn't like to smash something? You know, get a little muddling in. So let's start that right there. So you know, one thing we're going to do is we're going to take, if you haven't already, take a strawberry or your strawberries and cut the little green part off if you can. Don't throw it away. You can still eat them, but it's not really good with the muddling because it makes kind of like a pithy taste in the muddle, and you don't really want that. But you could use it later to eat. I could even do it right now. There we go. Delicious. All right, so we're going to take 4 strawberries. And the reason why we're going to do this is because, the reason why we're going to do this first is because you want to pour everything else over that muddled juice, because the liquor and the acid from the citrus is going to bring out even more of the juices and more of the flavors. So you want that as the base. Now, so we got 4 strawberries.
4 strawberries.
We got 4. Now, you know, I will amend that statement just briefly. If you have a bunch of small strawberries, then do 8, right? It all depends upon the size of the strawberries. So 4 average size strawberries.
Okay.
But it's not like you're going to go wrong. Like if you have more strawberries, it's like, not a problem. So take your muddler, and if you don't have a muddler, pretty much any blunt object that you don't care about getting dirty from the kitchen, like, you know, the end of a rolling pin or a, you know, spoon or something. And so get in there, you don't want to pulverize it, you just want to expose the juices. So I'd say give it like a solid, maybe 4 or 5 half turns, and that's good there.
It smells so good.
Oh yeah. 'Cause, you know, with that fresh fruit, once you release the fragrances and the juices, it's gonna be tasty. All right. Now the next thing we're gonna do is add a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Now we talked about this last class, I believe, but simple syrup in this case is 1 part to 1 part, and a part is any unit of measurement that you choose. So let's say you take, I should say 1 part water to 1 part sugar, and it's any unit of measurement that you choose. So if you do 1 cup water to 1 cup sugar, that's fine. If you do 1 pound water to 1 pound sugar, you know, whatever, it's all good. So a 1/2 ounce.
Matt, how long can you keep it in the fridge after you make it?
Well, a couple weeks usually is fine. You'll start to see particulates floating around in it if it's bad.
I don't do that, so I'm good. Mine's clear.
I mean, I've kept it for longer than that in my own personal kitchen. It all really depends. You know, you can tell if it's bad.
Okay. Yeah, I think mine's good. It smells good.
Then you're good. I mean, it's really just sugar and water. So, another 1/2 ounce of lime juice here. All right. Then we're going to take our triple sec again and do 1 ounce of that.
1 ounce of triple sec.
Yep. And again, oh, you know, I forgot to mention actually earlier, the triple sec is like a citrus, an orange in particular liqueur. So the sweetness and the acid, a lot of it is coming from the triple sec liqueur.
So could you use, hypothetically, if you didn't have triple sec for some reason, could you use like Cointreau or Grand Marnier or like another orange liqueur if you have it laying around?
Yeah, so those are all pretty much under the umbrella of triple secs. They're just different brands. Well, Grand Marnier in particular is actually not a triple sec. It's a orange liqueur,
Okay.
like totally orange. It's very sweet and viscous. But yeah, you could use it as a substitute if you want it. Totally. And again, it's all about adjusting it to your taste. So, you know, let's say if you like a sweeter cocktail and you use something like Grand Marnier, which is, you know, very thick and very viscous, you might want to use a little less than an ounce than you would with the triple sec, which is, you know, not so viscous, not as sweet. So, you know, it just depends upon your taste.
Okay.
And now this next one we're going to do, we're going to get our Effen Black Cherry out.
Woohoo!
Get the big boy out. All right, so now we got all of our ingredients in the shaker.
I see one. I see one on camera. I see it. I get so excited. Oh, I see Tony's got it too. Woohoo! Wait, how much did we add? I was so excited. I didn't pour any.
What's that?
How much Effen Black Cherry?
1.5 ounces. I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, I was getting excited.
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't paying attention. Oh my God, it smells so good.
It is tasty. And by the way, this is a black cherry vodka with a hint of vanilla. And we'll talk about that in a minute and how it helps the cocktail. But so this is the Cosberry Tastes Like Cosberries, and we're gonna give it a shake.
I'm ready.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to put ice.
Aha, now it behaves.
I'll be serious now.
Now we're getting serious.
Now I'm serious. I added ice. Okay.
Yeah, so give it a good shake. Get some, you know, mojo in there. Make it happen.
My workout.
Yeah, you know, this is as if you thought the workout was over in your vacation.
I know.
There's more. All right. And then take a martini glass if you have one. If not, any type of stem glass will work. And you look at that beautiful color. You look at the strawberry particulates in there.
Oh my gosh. Pretty. Whoa.
And some of the, since it's a muddled drink, some of the liquor will get trapped at the bottom. So just give it a good shake. Make sure it all gets in the glass.
Okay.
And so the glass I'm using right here is a 10-ounce martini glass. That's why it's not totally full. You probably don't want 10 ounces of a drink. But what we're gonna take.
This class would have a 10-ounce drink, just FYI.
Well, either way, sounds good. And then, so what we're gonna do is take this strawberry. You could put it on the edge. I like to put it in the drink because, like the last sip, it's like a little snack. So just float it on top.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put more than one. This is so pretty.
And Amanda, you know, and everybody else, you know what we do when we finish making the drink? We hit that bell. We cheers
Cheers.
and enjoy.
Oh my God, this is absolutely fruity, berry, Cosberry, delicious.
Yeah, that is a good one. And it's a perfect summer drink too, especially when we're quarantining, you know, and you know, you're on your back porch or whatever.
I'm gonna bring this over to my house to have him try it.
Oh, got to.
That's delicious. Oh wow, that is, you know, and strawberries are so deliciously in season right now. So they had such a great, mine were really almost overripe. So I'm glad I waited. Thank you, Sarah. It's a beautiful drink and it's delicious.
Cool. Yeah, I really like this one, and it kind of reminded me, like when I was a kid watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I always was like, what does snozberries taste like? You know, and this is kind of the inspiration for this drink, because this is kind of what I think they taste like.
I think it tastes like a schnozberry for sure. That was my favorite movie growing up, by the way. I loved it.
Me too.
Let's hear from everybody else. Let me get my gallery going. So we heard from Carol last time. Now we're gonna go to Laura. I've unmuted you. We want to know how the drink's going. Hey.
Good. I'm allergic to strawberries, so I just opted to use cherries,
Okay.
and it's fantastic.
All right. I love it. All right. Now we're gonna go, and then we will go to Carol, and Carol will tell us.
Smoke signals.
Hi. I think you have to unmute yourself, or we have to.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Okay.
You guys do great with garnish, by the way. You always do a nice job. The glass is perfect. I love it.
That garnish looks delicious.
The drink is perfect. It tastes so summery. I don't know. It tastes like kind of a strawberry popsicle.
Yes, that's exactly what it tastes like. Do you guys just have a fire going, or is it just a fire pit, or are you barbecuing also?
It's just a fire pit.
Yeah. It looks really nice, by the way.
Thank you.
Love it.
Broken
All right,
fin fire pit.
Tony has hers already, so we're gonna get her on here. Hi, Tony. How is it?
So one of my most favorite places to go is the Cheesecake Factory, and they have a strawberry martini, and this is better than that.
Oh!
I love it. I love when you have a favorite drink and then you can make it so much better than your favorite. That's amazing.
Yes, it is really good. The vanilla, I think the vanilla is really what sets it apart.
I've always loved Effen Black Cherry. I used to drink vodka sodas, and then I switched to Effen Black Cherry and sodas. This, by the way, was, you know,
This will be my go-to bad day martini.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So exciting.
Cheers to that.
Anyone else? Maybe.
Cheers.
Laura just looks like she's having a great time. All right, awesome. So Matthew, tell us more about Effen Black Cherry.
So Effen Black Cherry, again, is made from the same base as regular Effen Vodka. So it's still the Northern French wheat, except there's small amounts of black cherry and even smaller amounts and hints of vanilla that are added to it. So the thought with this one is to for those people that don't want a straight vodka, that want to combine something in a cocktail just like the one that we're drinking, and also have it be smooth and delicious. That's where it came from. This is the second iteration to come out right after the original Effen. This was the next one to come out. It's been a huge hit over the last couple decades, and it continues to do really well. And we can see why. You know, it blends well, and it lends itself really, really well to not only cherries but berries of all kinds, and also, you know, just a little bit of citrus in there, just that acid, just a little bit. You know, that half ounce really kind of makes the flavor pop. And that was kind of, you know, that's That was kind of the thought behind it, and I feel like it's working pretty good.
I think it's a great vodka, but this is a great combination. My mom thinks she would like to try it with cherry. Would it work the same way? Would you just get really like ripe cherry and muddle it like we did with the strawberries?
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't work the exact same way. You might need to add a little more simple syrup because the strawberries are much sweeter than a cherry. However, you still have that berry flavor, and you still have that that goodness in there. So I would add maybe like a 1/4 ounce more simple syrup, and I think it would taste delicious.
Sue and Bob have a great question actually, because sometimes I like to substitute this. Can you use agave instead of simple syrup?
You absolutely can use agave instead of simple syrup. However, I will caution that agave syrup is much more concentrated and much sweeter. So like in this situation, we added a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, right? So with agave syrup, you might want to add like a 1/4 ounce.
Okay.
If you like a really, really sweet cocktail, keep it with a 1/2. But if you want like a balanced cocktail, agave syrup is you want to dial it back about 1/2 amount. And for instance, we talked about Soho a couple of calls ago. I used to be the beverage manager there, and one of the highest selling drink, actually the highest selling drink, so it was their spicy margarita, and the sweetener is agave syrup. And we had to dial it back significantly when we were batching large amounts of it for the roof pool and patio, because it would get a little bit too sweet for people. So you can totally use it as a substitute, just use a little less.
Okay. And then Melissa Madeline said you forgot to ring the cocktail bell, but I think you did ring it. Did you ring it?
I totally rang it.
I think you rang it, Madeline. I think you rang it.
I mean, I'll ring it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Tony wants to know, would you recommend the coupe glass over a martini glass? Which would you recommend for this?
That's a good question, because the coupe glass is the original martini glass.
Oh. This shape is as opposed to this.
Correct. So the coupe glass. So the coupe glass is. I won't go like too deep into the way it was invented, because it's like a little bit controversial. But the coupe glass has a very specific size to it, and it's a very old style of glass. It's one of the first cocktail glasses ever to be invented. In the martini, the first time the martini ever was poured, it was poured into a coupe glass, and that is the traditional style. So like when you go to like super, by the book cocktail bars, you'll never get a martini in a glass like this.
Huh. So what are some like by the book martini bars in Chicago?
I mean, there are the most. There are a lot of them, and probably the most recognizable, one that really kind of was on the first beginning heels of the mixology trend is the Violet Hour, which is still around.
Right, yeah.
However, there are many now. There are places like, for instance, Best Intentions, which is like a completely legitimate cocktail bar, like traditional to the max, but also like a neighborhood bar too, because it's gotten pretty expanded. However, you go to a place also like Smith and Loyalist down in the West Loop, which is super traditional and super legitimate. You can go to, let's see, right off the top of my head, those are like the first three that come to mind. Dawson's a good one, not super traditional, but it's also good. Proxy, another good one. Also the library under the aviary, if you get a chance to put on there, it's about as legit as it gets.
All right, cool. Those are all, hopefully all these places are open or will reopen with everything going on with COVID. So hopefully we'll be able to check these things out. Tony just brought up a good point, food pairings with cocktails, because everyone loves a snack. And Tony paired that with an apricot brie tart that she found at the farmer's market. That sounds delicious, actually, like a good fruit and cheese combo. What else would you recommend, Matt, for food pairings with this particular drink?
With this particular drink? I mean, right off the bat, cheesecake for sure. I mean, no question. I mean,
I
like
love
you could pour it over a cheesecake and it would be delicious. Really. Yeah. So like cheesecake, angel food cake, shortbread, any one of those. Aside from that, figs, I think would be good with it. I mean, it's kind of sweet on sweet, but still, figs like are a little more savory. And yeah, that's what comes to mind right away.
Tony with like a very soft cheese, like a brie, or like I'm thinking like rich, like we have like Delicious de Bourgogne at the stores, and some of those like triple creme cheeses that are like you just fork in it. It's so delicious.
I actually got a goat cheese from Mariano's not long ago that would go perfect with this, where it's like it's almost buttery.
Yes.
You know, it kind of just slices right through. Yeah, any type of like brie. So brie's actually a really good one because it's salty and funky, and this is sweet and delicious. So that could pair really well, especially with a cracker to neutralize it.
Salty, funky, and sweet sounds like your album name or something.
Yeah, that's my new band.
That's your band. I love it. That's a good name, actually. I love it. All right, Matt, I know when we talked about this class, I asked for a Cosmo. Can we, as an encore extra drink, can we make a Cosmo?
100%. Absolutely.
And we'll still answer questions and chat with Matt because this is fun.
Yeah. Let's have some fun. Let's make a traditional Cosmo. So you can almost tell what a traditional Cosmo is because the skeleton of a traditional Cosmo has been in both of our drinks, right? We've just kind of added different ingredients to make it something different. So in this particular situation, let's go right to the cheapest ingredients first, as we always do. We'll grab our lime. As long as everybody's ready, we'll do a ½ ounce of lime.
I had a restock. So wait, we're starting with lime, a ½ ounce of lime.
Yep, ½ ounce of lime.
Okay, sorry.
All good. And then we'll do a ¼ ounce of cranberry. We're going to do 1 ounce triple sec. And as you can see as a constant in all these recipes, you've noticed a ½ ounce of lime and a 1 ounce of triple sec. That's part of the skeleton of a traditional Cosmo. So that's been continuous throughout the drinks.
Since the after World War II.
Yeah. So I mean, like I was saying earlier, the Cosmo has been debated. We'll talk about it this after we build the drink because I could get too nerdy about it. So we'll do a ounce and a half of vodka after that.
I'm gonna do. Can I go crazy and use the Effen Black Cherry since it's my favorite?
You can absolutely go crazy and do that. In fact, I would recommend it.
Okay. Yeah. And R&D just said this is fun. It is fun. This is like the most fun I've had since even during my staycation, to be honest.
Good.
Where were you last week, Matt?
Glad we can make that happen. And then, okay, so this is not traditional. However, for my Cosmo, I like a little more sweetener in there because this only sweetness that we have going on here is from the cranberry and from the triple sec. You also have the acid from the lime, and then you have 1.5 ounces of vodka. So, and this is just my taste. I like a little bit more of a sweet cocktail. That's just how I am. So I'm going to add a ¼ ounce of simple syrup, but that is not the tradition, for the record. But that's
we don't really like to be very traditional. We're very innovative.
All right, cool. All right, we're gonna have to use the same glass. Does everybody have the shakers ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Is everybody else ready? And look, I think Tony's already done making it. She's already drinking it. All right. We're
All right.
still.
Okay. Oh, yep.
Ah, that was exhausting.
Oh man. Yeah, it is exhausting. And this particular one's not behaving well. Hold on. Gonna have to consult the same.
Oh my gosh, I can already tell this is going to be the best Cosmo I've ever had in my entire life, which by the way, I probably have had 8,000 Cosmos, and this one's going to be the best one.
8001, here we go.
8,001 Cosmos. I mean, this color is like, I think what it should be, like light, frosty pink.
Yeah, that's exactly the color, and that's exactly why people love them. I mean, how are you not gonna drink?
Are we drinking, not garnishing? You didn't ring the bell.
Oh, the bell. All right, everybody, put your drinks back down. Now we're ready.
Woo!
Cheers.
Oh my God, this tastes like my 20s, which was so long ago, by the way, people. Matthew, this is delicious. And cheers. Thanks, R&D Station and Madeline. Yes, cheers to everybody. This is, so let's like talk about like the balance of a perfect Cosmo. Tell us like in your mind what it like, or describe to us what it should taste like.
All right, so basically what we're dealing with here is the build of many traditional cocktails. When you think about something like a margarita, for instance, or a whiskey sour, etc., you have a couple constants. You have a sweetener, you have an acid, and you have a liquor, right? In this case, there's one more ingredient, and it's the cranberry juice, which is kind of both sour and sweet. So that's kind of what makes it a little bit different. It also adds the color, which is key. Like, there's no way that Cosmopolitan would be as famous as it is without it being like iridescently pink, right?
Right.
So you have all the key ingredients. You have a base liquor of vodka, which is very blendable, which is important. You have the acid being the lime. You also have a sweetener and a little bit of citric acid as well with the triple sec. And at the same time, you have the cranberry on top of that, which is a little sweet and also sour. So all those ingredients combined make this perfect looking drink that you can really drink a lot of, and it's refreshing.
It is. Okay, so everyone's writing in here, and I'm also panicking. What we need the recipe again, because we all want to write it down. So let's start from the beginning.
All right, so traditional Cosmo. We'll go from liquor and all the way down.
Okay.
So ounce and a half of vodka.
Okay, 1.5 vodka.
Yeah. 1 ounce of triple sec, or any type of orange liqueur, in particular, the Kuiper triple sec.
Right.
A half ounce of lime juice.
Got it.
Fresh squeeze, preferably. And then a 1/4 ounce of cranberry.
1/4 ounce. Okay, so we have 1.5 vodka of Effen, 1 ounce of triple sec de Kuiper, 1/2 ounce of lime juice, and 1/4 ounce of simple of.
Wait, what was the last one you said?
1.5 ounce of Effen vodka, 1 ounce of de Kuiper triple sec, 1/2 ounce of lime juice.
Yeah, and a 1/4. Your splash cran, I say a 1/4 ounce.
Okay. I'm putting it in my phone because I want to make sure I can make it.
Yeah.
You also put simple syrup in it.
I put simple syrup because I like a little bit of a sweet edge on my Cosmo. So if you want a little bit of a sweeter edge, add a 1/4 ounce of simple syrup.
Okay. And then you could play with this, right? So you could say, all right, I like triple sec, but I might want to try an orange liqueur, or you can play around with the sweetener maybe to kind of experiment a little. I know we all kind of like doing that.
Yeah, well, that's actually you're 100% correct. And that's exactly what was my inspiration for this call was you know, when we first started talking, you were like, how can we change the Cosmo? And I was like, oh man, it's hard to change the Cosmo. It's pretty traditional. But I started playing around with it, and it's what I came up with, you know. So, and it's not like, you know, it's because I'm like been working in the bar industry so long, you know, like my special knowledge. It's just taking sweeteners and acids and mixing them together, more or less. You know, so you could definitely play around with it. And with Cosmos, it's hard to go wrong.
It's hard to go wrong.
Yeah, so it's fun.
How would you garnish it? Would you use like a lime wedge, a lime wheel? Would you not do anything?
So traditional garnish would be like actually like a lime, like it would be like almost like it would be like a lime skin.
Okay.
So, you know, you cut something off like this, and you'd curl it up and maybe put it on the edge of the glass, you know, something like that. But or you could also do like take a do like a pigtail with a channel gouger, but that's like a little bit more advanced. Or lime wheel would probably be the easiest, most cool looking one.
I have a hard time using that channeler. Like I have one, but I think it's really hard. It's easier to like do a peel or like you did with a knife. Like I think it's hard to get that channel thing going for me. I don't know about anybody else, but.
Yeah, it's not easy. And in fact, you have to have like a proper fruit with a thick skin.
Right.
To be honest, yeah. So, but yeah, any lime or any citrus would be good.
I mean, this was honestly so fun. I'm very happy. I had, like, I'm sure everyone had, you know, whatever day they had, and it's fun to like just be here with everyone and to learn these tips from you, Matt. It's so fun. I definitely saw Carol getting after it. Did Carol make the Cosmo? She did. Okay, let's go to her. Let's zoom in there. And then we're gonna go to Tony.
Oh yeah, we made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
Oh yeah.
Come on, cheers.
Guys. You guys should open your own like mixology bar wherever you live. You should like, we'll be there.
That would be cool.
Cocktails to go. We'll come curbside pickup.
There you go. Yeah.
And was Laura able to have that? Did she make one too? Because she can have Cosmos, right? No.
She hasn't made it yet. She had a few drink mishaps, but she's gonna make one afterwards.
Yeah.
All right. Well, your guys' look perfection. That's like what a Cosmo. And I love your glasses. You have such good glassware.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good changes. All right, Tony, I'm gonna come find you. And you have to unmute. How is your Cosmo?
I didn't make one. Anytime you have something that's better than a Cheesecake Factory, you have to stop right there.
All right, I'll take it.
You know what? That's great. I love that you did that, and I love that you love it, and I love it too. Definitely. My birthday is in a few weeks, and my mom's on. So we're gonna Mom, we're gonna sample like drinks that night. So yeah, I'm gonna do the strawberry one for sure, the Cosberry.
Have a very happy birthday.
It's in a few weeks, so yeah. Thank you. All right, does anyone have any questions for, there's my mom. Yes, we will. We love our cocktails. Anyone else have any questions for Matt while we have him about Effen, which is obviously so delicious. But, oh, and there's other flavors, Matt. Tell everyone about the other flavors.
Oh man, there's some delicious ones out there. There's blood orange, which is one of my favorites. Also, a brand new one that's out there is a yuzu fruit. And that's a kind of a result of the bean and suntory coming together. Yuzu is a traditional Japanese fruit. It's kind of described as a combination between orange and a grapefruit. So it's really, really delicious. That one just came out on the market. It's great.
I hope we have that. I haven't tried the blood orange, and I do love myself some blood orange, but I would love to try that yuzu one too.
Yeah, they're both really good. I stand by it. Sure.
I love that. And R&D, you're so nice. She had a great time. And we will do this again, I guess. Well, with Matthew, we're going to figure out some more dates to have him back this holiday season. We're kind of, you guys are also engaged and awesome, so we're going to try to keep up doing these classes at least once a month. And we'll definitely have Matt back to help us with some holiday cocktails. Oh, and speaking of that, I just wanted to ask, can you batch, not that we're all having big parties, but could you batch a Cosmo? Can you batch the Cosberry too? Can we batch those in advance?
Yeah, so the Cosberry might be a harder one to batch because of the strawberries. So you'd have to like probably make a bunch of like blended strawberries and do that to taste. But you certainly could batch it. The Cosmo is really easy to batch because it's pretty much only liquor and citrus and cranberry. So if you take the ingredients that we have here and just extrapolate them to larger amounts, like accordingly, you can make it large. Like you could take what we did here for a glass and make a bathtub full of it if you want. You know, it'll taste the same. Oh, but I will say one thing: you have to add 20% water of the entire volume of liquor that you use.
Why is that?
Because you know how when you shake, you add a bunch of water from the ice.
Yes.
So you have to add water because when you're batching a cocktail, you're not shaking it. So you have to add water. And the common, most like everyday thing that always works is 20% of the total volume.
Got it. These are great tips, Matt. We wouldn't know this otherwise, unless we get a bathtub size shaker, and then I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm working on making one. We'll see how it goes.
A large batch shaker. Yes, Matt, and then we're bringing Matt back for sure. We have so much fun with him. Any other questions from our team out there that we love? All right, well, we're definitely going to do more over the holiday when we're all probably still going to be stuck indoors because of the weather. So Matt, you and I have to start collaborating with the team on some great holiday cocktails.
I'm ready. I'm already in holiday mode. I'm excited.
It's like Christmas in July. We'll start planning.
Here we go.
All right, well, everyone, you know where to find us, and we love having Matt, and we loved drinking Effen, and we loved everyone's drinks, and we'll talk to everyone really soon.
All right, thanks everybody. Thank you, Amanda.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Yep, bye guys.